Wack 100 is making a valiant effort to clear his name. But the emerging evidence does not seem good, so it appears that Big U and Wack 100 may be in for some serious heat. The streets are aflutter over the Fed's recent admission of why they placed money on Eric Holder's head.
Maybe this is because of the stress that the Big U Rico is putting on you, since you might feel like, since you were so wrapped up in so much of his dealings, that maybe.
As a result, there has been very little information available on Eric Holder's incarceration. However, rumor has it that Holder suffered at the hands of other prisoners during his trial. He seems to have said that he had to be dealt with.
Hussle's alleged killer was attacked on his way to court. Eric Holder's attorney tells TMZ
there
that he
are
was
rumors that this might be the result of stronger, unseen powers trying to keep the Holder from coming up with any creative ideas for speech. Perhaps Huge U and Wack 100 are pulling strings. Nothing has happened on the Holder front, and there have been no credible reports of anything since he was given a 60-year prison sentence. There isn't any hard evidence yet that Wack 100 or Big U are directly responsible for Nipsey's situation, but given everything that has been going on, it's hard not to question whether they are preventing him from speaking up or if this is all part of a larger scheme to keep him silent. The federal government may have a solution, though, given the circumstances. Wack 100 came under fire for claiming that Eric Holder was merely abiding by gang regulations, therefore effectively endorsing Holder. Rather than retreat, Wack increased their level of effort.
Somebody's taking a life, right? But again, we're dealing with the streets, the rules of engagement, the irrational rules that we live by that really have no merit. They have no nothing.
Next is Big U. Wack eventually apologized. But it was too late to be truthful because his entire explanation for Nipsey's murder was already beginning to appear dubious. Rapper SKG has accused Wack of being involved in Nipsey's death, and his name has been circulated despite the lack of evidence. Now, with Big U's connection to Nipsey, some are beginning to question whether Eric Holder's targeting while incarcerated was just a coincidence. Given that Big U and Wack were at the bottom, it is hard to argue that they would have preferred to silence him before he disclosed any information. If these rumors seem false to you, you should read this. Were you aware that Blickies was pushed in the hood by Wack 100 and that he provided Blickies with burners? There seems to be a lot more to this than folks have been revealing, with the feds prying around and Wack out here acting so anxious. It turns out that Eric Holder was a member of the local members of the Rollin' 1960s, and that Big U was the gang's boss. Wack was candid about it, but there is no evidence to support the rumors, which led some to question why he had not been charged or detained yet. But some are even questioning whether someone is changing sides and is now cooperating with the federal government or serving as an informant. The truth is that Big U and a few of his colleagues took part in a federal investigation that looked at issues like guns and racketeering. Wack 100's ties to the federal government are only made more suspect by the fact that he was left off of the list of those detained. The problem is that Wack's connection in the gun game makes him a direct target, especially since Eric shot Nipsey Hussle. Would one of the weapons provided by Wack have been available to Eric? Is plausible and raises questions about the severity of this issue. But Wack's role in Nipsey's case goes beyond just carrying burners. In fact, he essentially co-signed Loose Cannon's questionable allegation that he was aware of Nipsey Hussle's impending shooting before it actually occurred.
FaceTiming. So he FaceTiming and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6 oh, I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. And I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. Well,
Did you tell him the call you just got? Or you need to...
Despite their previous disagreements, Brick Baby labeled Loose as unreasonable for claiming Big U was behind Nipsey's death. Wack brought Loose to the No Jumper program, where he made some serious claims, including the startling assertion that Big U was aware of Nip's death before it. This is the problem. Even though Luck's claims lack hard evidence, things become complicated when you deny any involvement in Nipsey's death and even respond with a cease and desist letter. The fact that Wack 100 provided him with a forum to promote these beliefs makes you stop and consider the fact that Wack has been linked to the weapon supply and Rollin 60s group. Now that there are suspicions that Big U may have been involved in Nipsey's killing, one can't help but wonder if Wack was involved in the planning of Nipsey's hit, or if he was just a bystander. Big U lost a few days ago, and he won't be contacting us for a while because he has been charged. It's surprising that Big U, who has a lengthy relationship with the gang, also attempted to. After he helped promote musicians like Nipsey by posing as a music executive and anti-gang crusader, things had taken a bad turn. The FBI says Big U was the boss of the structured group Big U Enterprise. He faces 43 charges in a major federal indictment that includes murder, extortion, bank fraud, wire fraud, racketeering, and even human trafficking. From 2010 to 2025, they took part in questionable activities in the Los Angeles region, after Racing Williams released a diss track in 2021 that angered Big U. The capital M was one of the most serious accusations he had to deal with. The hit is said to have been ordered by Big U, along with committing major fraud to the Small Business Administration. He is also charged with embezzling millions of dollars from charitable sources, including cash. Originally intended for the Gang Reduction Youth Development Foundation, Big U has been in federal detention since turning himself in March 2025. However, he has also been connected to human trafficking and extortion, which is clearly not what one would expect from a community activist. His counsel maintains his innocence in the face of the serious accusations, and he is set to appear in court in April 2025. He is known as a While a community leader is facing intense scrutiny, the case is exposing the darker aspects of the music industry and Lay's gang culture, and Wack 100 has not yet been charged despite several concerning signs. This is when the interesting part begins. Wack has denied Big U's allegations that he collaborated with the federal authorities to bring him down. The most troubling aspect is that Wack has publicly acknowledged providing the Rollin 60 Crips with firearms, even though he has been criticized and claims he had nothing to do with Big U's legal troubles. The fact that he has not yet been prosecuted for this has surprised some people. In fact, he has just begun to reassess Big U. Wack's most recent No Jumper interview drama is undoubtedly gaining traction because of some of the things he said about Big U. He has received a lot of criticism and back and forth, and it appears that he is changing his position due to some of the things he said about Big U. Wack, claims that he believed it was a prank to get back with Big Eyes. Although he has been talking about this significant RICO issue for more than a year, in all honesty, Wack doesn't seem to be buying it, has seen the No Jumper interview, and is merely playing games. He's constantly rewriting his story, and it's difficult not to assume that he's doing it to take jabs at Big U. He seems to believe that people are unaware enough to believe it, but he doesn't seem to be as committed to his stance as he would like to appear. This is all a part of the ongoing situation that surrounds Big U, No Jumper, and it's just speculation. But with everything that's happening, who can say what will happen next? Furthermore, it appears that Wack is merely trying to stir the pot while attempting to appear authoritative. Does Wack 100 have any connection to law enforcement? Now that Big U is the focus, is he getting away with it? Ideas. Is Wack 100 likely to be the next to be investigated?